Meet Maya. She just finished last in her local 5K race. By social comparison standards, she lost. She should feel defeated. But look at her face. That's not the face of a loser. That's the face of a champion. Kareem and Cosmo are confused. How can you lose against everyone else but still feel like you won? Cosmo. She's not delusional, is she? She knows she came in last. She knows. But Maya isn't playing the same game as everyone else. While the world is obsessed with being better than others, Maya has mastered the art of being better than yesterday. Petsi. It's called Temporal Comparison, and it's the final piece of the puzzle. For 2 episodes, we've watched Kareem struggle with comparing up, pain, and comparing down, superiority. But Dr. Petsi explains there is a third direction. Petsi. Most people are social comparers. Their self-worth is determined by their rank in the tribe. But high performers like Maya are temporal comparers. Their reference point isn't the person next to them. It's the person they used to be. Kareem. So Maya wasn't racing the other runners? Petsi. No. She was racing Maya from 3 months ago. And she beat her by 2 minutes. That's why she celebrated. The experiment, to prove why this changes your brain chemistry, Petsi set up a simulation. Petsi. Kareem, I want you to imagine you earn $80,000 a year. Kareem. Okay. Sounds decent. Petsi. Scenario A. Everyone else in your office earns $100,000. Kareem. I feel undervalued. Like I'm losing. Petsi. Scenario B. You earn $80,000. But last year, you earned $60,000. Kareem. I feel successful. I feel like I'm growing. The number, $80,000, didn't change. The reality was identical. But in scenario A, Kareem used social comparison and felt like a failure. In scenario B, he used temporal comparison and felt like a winner. Cosmo. It's the same reality, but a completely different emotional experience. The science. This is what psychologists call the Ipsative standard, using yourself as the norm. When you compete with others, the finish line is always moving. There will always be someone faster, richer, or smarter. Your brain is constantly in a state of threat detection, Petsi. But when you compete with yourself, the metrics are stable. You have control, and the brain loves control. Research by Dr. Ann Wilson suggests that people who habitually use temporal comparison have a more stable identity. They are less fragile because their confidence comes from their own history, not someone else's highlight reel. Kareem. So if I look at my first video compared to Mr. Beast, I'm depressed. But if I look at my first video compared to my current video, Cosmo. You realize you're a completely different level of creator now. Real-world application. So how do we switch our brains from social mode to temporal mode? Petsi gave them the personal best protocol. The rule is simple. You are not allowed to measure success using someone else's ruler. Kareem. I caught myself looking at a friend's promotion on LinkedIn. I felt that familiar pang of, I'm falling behind. Instead of scrolling, Kareem opened his own resume from 3 years ago. Kareem. I looked at who I was 3 years ago. I didn't have these skills. I didn't have this network. I didn't have this confidence. The gap between old me and new me is huge. This is the shift from envy to mastery. Envy asks, why do they have that? Mastery asks, how far have I come? We spent this whole series trying to figure out how to survive in a world that constantly forces us to compare. Cosmo. We learned that comparing up hurts. Comparing down traps us. Petsi. But comparing back, that frees us. Kareem. You're never going to stop comparing. It's how your brain works. But you get to choose who you're in the ring with. If you compete with the world, you'll always be tired. If you compete with yourself, you'll always be growing. The only person who can actually beat you is who you were yesterday. So, go beat them. I'm Think Lent. Thanks for thinking with us.